Deep underwater footage of the bow, sound of a low, rhythmic heartbeat. Imagine the Titanic. You see the diamonds of first class or the desperate dreams of third. But between the grand staircase and the crowded hull lies a forgotten world. 114 years later, why is it the middle that holds the heart of the tragedy? Faded black and white photos of modest families in suits and hats. In April 2026, as we mark the 114th anniversary, we finally look at the second class. They weren't billionaires or penniless immigrants. They were the world's teachers, clergy, and shopkeepers. A glowing cabin window in the dark. While the elite lived in a palace and the poor lived in a hope chest, second class lived in a transition. They were the first true middle class to touch the Atlantic. Close-up of a leather-bound book and a fountain pen, men like Lawrence Beasley, a science teacher, didn't come for gold. They came for the future. His calm observations would later become the most accurate record of the sinking. The ship's orchestra playing on a tilting deck. Did you know the second-class deck was the site of the most profound dignity? When the order came for women and children first, the second-class men showed the highest rate of gallantry on the ship. Archival footage of the lifeboats being lowered. Statistically, a second-class man had the lowest chance of survival, lower even than some in third class. Yet, there are no records of riots or rushing the boats from their deck. A lonely violin note, they were the silent majority of the sea. They had everything to lose, established lives, small businesses, and young families. Yet they waited in the shadows of the funnels. The dark, icy water reflecting stars. Their legacy isn't one of opulence or struggle, but of quiet, devastating poise. It was the moment the Victorian moral code met the freezing reality of the modern age. A child's shoe sitting on the ocean floor. Among them was the youngest survivor, Milvina Dean. Though she was in third, it was the second-class spaces that came to represent the everyman experience we relate to today. Digital reconstruction of the second-class dining saloon. In 2026, we realize the Titanic isn't a story of extremes. It is a story of people like us, those caught in the middle of a world changing too fast. The ship's clock frozen at 2:20 a.m., their letters home didn't speak of menus or coal. They spoke of the vibration of the engines and the hum of a new century. A hand reaching out in the fog. When the lights flickered out, the second-class passengers were the bridge between the old world of status and the new world of shared humanity. Sunlight hitting the surface of the North Atlantic. 114 years later, their silence is the loudest thing about the wreck. They represent the stability that was lost that night in April. Cinematic wide shot of the Titanic wreck. We remember the names Astor and Guggenheim. But we honor the legacy of the teachers and the fathers who stood back so others could live. Soft fade to black. The true legacy of the Titanic isn't found in the gold of the Gilded Age, but in the quiet courage of those who occupied the middle. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more untold stories. Stay tuned for my next video.